Hello folks! I have to laugh at the exact contradicting news reports I see online. Most mornings I'm at work, I'll visit the Yahoo page just for something to do. And I'll see all kind of stories, of course, specifically the anti-Russian stories and the pro-Ukraine stories that are so terribly obvious it's kind of funny. But then I will go to listen to some other videos, and especially like Dr. Turley, and he gives you a totally opposite news report. He says, that Putin is winning and Ukraine is losing, and I'm just like, it's totally opposite. Who am I to take seriously in this? Now, I know people, some left-wingers, who are just like, it says it on CNN, it is the truth. We must believe. They are so naive. I mean, that kind of naivety went out with just regular television. Because now that we have the internet, there's a lot more knowledge out there. But some people just don't want to take the time or the trouble to try to learn for themselves or to study for themselves. They want to be spoon-fed what to believe and what to think. So I don't know what you're going to do with those people. But on the flip side, I mean, just because Dr. Turley's news is 100% opposite of the mainstream media doesn't mean his is all true either. But there are other sources like The Hill. They do have sort of a, like I said, a more neutral perspective on the Russia-Ukraine conflict. And basically they're saying, the U.S. keeps arming them, so the longer that prolongs the conflict, and the negotiations haven't been going well, and so the poor innocent people are just stuck in the crossfire, basically. And the mainstream media, they keep giving one narrative, and then the other news outlets give it opposite. Completely opposite. So it's funny. And that just shows me just why I need to do my news company too. And I have my registered domain as the Patriot Spectator. But it will encompass a lot of things. Basically, culture in general, because I don't want to just have a, straight news podcast when I get to it. But it just shows how badly different perspectives are needed. Balanced perspectives. I mean, you have the Yahoo News, they're all in for Ukraine as the winner. And then you have Dr. Turley's more in for Russia as the winner. And so, as the consumer, I'm like dealing with these two opposite viewpoints. And we sort of need to distill that and focus on what is really going on. And present the different perspectives need to be presented to the public. And of course, the mainstream media is trying their best to not have that happen. And I was going to make a comment about the nuclear war. I'm rather thinking that sane, civilized countries will not push the nuclear button, because they're probably going to cause they're going to devastate and cause tons of damage, and whatever they blow up is not going to be worth anything anymore, because they're just destroying it. There'll be too much fallout, too much destruction, too much backlash. And like you said, once one country would go for nuclear, then the other countries would go for nuclear, then there'd be total, probably sections of the world uninhabitable for 1,000 years or whatnot. So I don't really see there's a gain. I mean, yes, immediate gain of trying to get your enemies to surrender, but then you're not going to get anything if you nuke your enemies, because you have just destroyed anything valuable in the land or made it untouchable because it's been destroyed. Now, I mean, we could possibly see some, madman doing it. Of course, the left thinks Putin is a madman and would do it. But I don't think he's that bad, but he's, we need to be sensible about this. So, I mean, the nuclear war thing is like a threat that countries threaten each other with. But I said ultimately it would be a bad idea, because the country that would use it would not gain anything from the country they destroyed. They wouldn't be able to take the spoil because everything would be radioactive, and they would die if they came in for the spoil. So what you gonna do? So as far as I can tell, the nuclear war talk is saber rattling and is not very realistic, because countries that want to conquer other countries want things to be in good condition. They want to be able to take spoil. They want to get the booty, the benefits, the riches out of the country they conquer. And if they just devastate, destroy, and radioactive everything, they're stuck with a wasteland too. And I said, don't forget that would destroy world trade. Using nuclear weapons is like for whenever you're ready for the world to end. When you want to end the world, then use your nuclear weapons, because it would disrupt trade and disrupt everything and ruin everything. So I don't really see the benefit to the country that would decide to use nuclear war. There's no benefit, it's just destruction. We need to keep things in perspective, and we need to make sure we are listening to the different sides of the news. It's sad that the news is so opposite, but perhaps it always was that way. Maybe it was. So that just means that we, the consumers, have to work harder to get to the facts and to express it to the public. And so we need more news reporters to pop up, and independent journalists, and just try to get a balanced view. If you notice a news service is always promoting one side above the other, you know you don't have a balanced view. You know you're getting propaganda. So beware. Beware. These news agencies, they have their agendas. All right, thank you for watching. Let freedom ring.